Hello everybody, EsoChat is with you today, and in this video I'm going to make a full and detailed analysis of the third part of the 39th episode of Skibidi Toilet Multiverse for you, and I can assure you that I have something special to say. So in today's video I will tell you about all the secrets and hidden details that I managed to discover here, as well as tell you what can wait for us in the next episode. Who will win in this battle? Is it going to be Commander or Rolex Headlock? And what will happen to Leo in the next episode? If you want to know the answers to all these questions, then get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, because it will be very interesting. Let's go! So the first thing this episode starts with is footage of Titan Drillman leaving the scene of the battle with Skibidi Nemesis. And at first glance, it may seem that the huge mutant is already finished, and that Titan Drillman destroyed him completely. But I want to draw your attention to the fact that we were not shown what actually happened to Nemesis, which means that it can be pretty far from the statement that he finally passed away. So perhaps in the next episode we will see how he gets to be saved. Maybe how they teleport to the base and fix it or something like that, I don't really know. And that's why I think that we'll see him again pretty soon. And now we are getting transported to the wall near the Skibidi base, where the battle is still going on. And this time, we will see how Leo is going to fight against Titan Cameraman. And at the same time, he also says that he is used to fighting big opponents, which in my opinion is another reference to either the series of games called Devil May Cry or Resident Evil, because what we will see next is beyond all bounds of imagination. The following footage of the episode looks like we are following the gameplay of the game I just mentioned, and it clearly looks like Resident Evil. And during the fight, you can also see that one of the Titan's miniguns is extremely badly damaged. But in any case, it doesn't really matter here, because he forgot how to shoot them, and therefore decided to simply grab Leo with his hand. But he fails to do this, and the Skibidi agent throws dynamite at his camera, which causes the Titan's lens to fall into complete disrepair, and he has to take it off. And you know, I've already seen it somewhere else. Yes, exactly the same thing happened in the second part of the 19th episode, when Skibidi Pennywise first deprived Titan of the lens, and then tried to influence him with TV radiation. But Titan was able to resist him and destroy his enemy. And well, in this episode, the same thing happened, and immediately after Titan had to remove the lens, a toilet with a huge TV screen flies out from behind the wall and starts showing him some really cringe videos. And well, in the end of it, something happens that no one could have expected, and the angry Titan Cameraman was able to resist it and turn to Leo. And I do not really know why the Skibidi toilets are still trying to destroy the Titan in such a way. Okay then, Pennywise was destroyed and couldn't report that it was a fiasco, but after all, the Skibidi scientist was there too, and he should have actually noticed it. And apparently in that battle, his bald head was beaten off way too much for him that everything flew out of his head, and he did not warn anyone that Titan Cameraman was in fact immune to watching TV. And now thanks to this Skibidi, Leo begins to hear some boss's music, which clearly signals that in the next episode we will see the continuation of the battle between him and Titan Cameraman. And it's most likely that it will happen in the same format that we saw just a minute earlier, but it's also possible that it was just a small reference and it won't happen again. But in any case, immediately after that, we are getting transported to Titan Clockman, who has been standing here for almost 10 episodes straight, and I have no idea where the bro got so much patience, actually. And when the helicopter approaches him, we begin to hear the sound of the clock, which means that the Titan begins to calculate the future. And when he saw it, he begins to signal the helicopter's retreat, but it's too late, and the Commander Astro toilet grabs it and squeezes it like a tiny toy. But fortunately, he does not have time to completely destroy it. And now we are learning about the true purpose of the Commander's arrival. He remembers the professor's words that Titan can most likely see the near future and pretending to be unalived. And after a while, he flies out of his transport at super speed, aiming directly at the core of Titan. But Clockman manages to defend himself by throwing Skibidi to the ground. And I don't know why, but the Commander's action reminded me a lot of the game called Doom Eternal, when Doom Guy loaded himself into a huge cannon and shot it at the planet to get to his destination as quickly as possible. And the Astro shell even had a shot mark on it. Okay, and then we see at least 3 super abilities of Male 07, which are a huge speed of movement, the ability to fly without any upgrades like a jetpack, as well as complete invulnerability or something close to it, because after he crashed into the Titan Clockman's body at high speed, there was no damage left on him. And in confirmation of this, he says that neither Titan Clockman nor himself can be defeated, and therefore he is ready to keep Titan Clockman company. But after some time, he realized that the Titan does not plan to stay here for long because someone is already in the dome and is trying to deactivate the missile strike. So while dodging all the blades, he flies inside where the alarm clockman is being located, which tries to cut the necessary wires but constantly fails at it. But thanks to the dome's power, time is constantly rolling back so that he can start cutting new wires again and again. And at the moment when the commander finally gets to the clockman, we can see that for some reason everything around the commander becomes somehow colorless. And to be honest, I do not really know what exactly it might be because of maybe it has something to do with his superpowers or something like that. And I also want to show you some pretty funny detail. The first time when Alarm Clockman is shown to us, you can see red and black wires next to him. And in the next frame, he already tries to cut the green ones which were not initially there. And well, after rewinding the time, the wires stopped being colored at all. But let's continue. So the commander does not really have time to prevent Alarm Clockman from doing his thing, because the Rolex Headlock, as Male 07 called it, also gets here eventually. And Clockman says, "Your opponent is me," clearly intending to defeat this Skibidi toilet. But something tells me that he underestimates the strength of Skibidi, because in my opinion he will not be able to defeat him, as the commander was able to fight back even Titan Clockman, and the strength of this Titan, in my opinion, is much higher than the power of Rolex. But perhaps he only distracts Skibidi from the alarm clockman, so that in the end he would have time to find the necessary wire and prevent a missile strike. However, considering that now everything has lost its color, there may be some serious problems with this. Although on the other hand, this guy clearly did not know exactly which wire he needed anyway, and he cut them just at random order. But in any case, these two rise into the air and prepare to knock each other in the face. And in this frame, you can again notice that everything is gray around the commander, whereas everything is colored around Clockman. And in the next episode, we will most likely see how these guys will fight with each other. And that gave me one really interesting idea. Under the video from the interview with domstudio, these guys confirmed the information that the Skibidi multiverse will end on the 50th episode. But based on what we see now, you should not worry that this series will end way too soon, given how many fights are happening at the same time. And we will also see a bunch of new parts of the episodes, and I do not know when we will find out how this legendary and incredibly large-scale battle between the Skibidi toilets and the Alliance will finally end. And this is despite the fact that in the future, we will see the appearance of another race, the leader of which is the Master. And that was all for today. And if you don't want to miss new and interesting analyses of upcoming episodes, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel as well as like this video. And it was me, Chad. See ya!